Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, May 29th, 2025. And here are some of today's trends in the news. And remember, the trend is your friend. And we're giving the trends to you like nobody anywhere in the world. The Trends Journal, history before it happens. And if you want to know history before it happens, you could subscribe. It's only $2.59 a week. As I said, this is the cover. This is the business section of the toilet paper record, the New York slime, for $6. Yeah, nope, no, nothing there. They used to have copy on the pages back in the day, but that doesn't exist anymore. Nope. The copy. There it is. That's what it used to be. Nothing. Total fucking bullshit is what they're shoving down people's mouths, and they believe it. Anyway, going on, markets haven't closed yet as we're going on. Yeah, but they're up a little bit. Brent crude still hanging in the $64 a barrel range. Bitcoin down a bit today. It's only $105,700. And gold's up $30. And it's still hanging around over that 3,300 mark. Let's see what it is right now. $3,315 an ounce. And remember, we called it a golden year for gold when gold was selling at $2,041 an ounce. And that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. And again, the more subscribers we have, the more people will be informed of what in the world is going on and what to do. You know, someone sent me this. Actually, I think they posted it on the site. If you do not take an interest in the affairs of your government, then you are doomed to live under the rules of fools. Yeah, Plato said that. And that's what we got. The rule of fools. It's a fucking freak show. Oh, you like the little Macron, the little Catzon with no pecker and no balls because, his wife slapped him. You see that? Oh, I'll be good. Bend over, take it up there. Yeah, little Starmer clown over there in the UK with an F for you and a C in it. Yep. It's a fucking freak show. And again, what Plato said is 100% correct, and we're on the side of Plato, and we're giving you to the facts. So, what else? China taps consumers to boost growth. Households are leery. That's one of the articles in the Wall Street Journal. It goes on to say that in one initiative this year, the government had allocated $42 billion to expand the program for shoppers to buy. $42 billion? It's nothing. It's chump change. And again, China's problems were caused by the COVID war launched by China on their Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the rat, in 2020. They got a housing crisis that there's no end to. And the real estate market used to account for 30% of their GDP. This is serious. But again, on the AI side, as we said, China's going to lead the charge. But we mention this because to show that the lives and livelihoods of hundreds of millions of Chinese were destroyed by those 3 years of zero COVID policy. Japan's debt, twice as big as economy, pushes limits. Yeah, this is in the toilet paper. And debt fuel public spending, relief aid during the COVID-19 pandemic morphed into new outlays for defense and subsidies. I'm mentioning this because they say relief aid during the COVID-19 pandemic. The World Health Organization called it a pandemic. On March 11th, 2020, when the grand total of 4,219 people died out of 8 billion. The damage that's been caused by this, remember, it happens in January. They launch it January, February, March. 4,219 people out of 8 billion. They call the fucking thing a pandemic. So I'm just mentioning this because all of the economies around the world were artificially propped up, and now the end is near. And again, the office building bust is going to happen. A fact that nobody wants to talk about because more people are working at home. They're renting less and less space. Mortgages are the mortgages are due on these buildings, and they're going to be defaults. Because 5 years ago, the COVID war started, and when people take leases out in these big buildings, they're 5 and 10 years. And now those 5 and 10 years are coming up. So this is serious. Versace parent cuts views, on their expectations from all losses. Each week we have in the Trends Journal a section on what's happening in the luxury markets. It's very important. I was just talking about what happened in China. China was buying up stuff before they were big into luxury. They were booming. COVID came, boop, gone. The fish rots from the head down. Each week we have a special segment in your Trends Journal on what's going on in the luxury markets. Very important to see. GM turns attention to V8 engines, and they're pulling back from electric vehicles. Again, electric vehicles aren't big in the U.S. Tesla EU sales decline worsen. Down 52% in April in the EU. China's going up in AI. So you got to look at what's going on here. And now Musk pulled out from the Trump team on Doge. He knows how bad things are. This is an article, Tax Pledge for Seniors Falls Short. This is from the Wall Street Journal. The legislation passed by the House would give a temporary extra deduction of $4,000, which would lower taxes for many of the people Trump was targeting with his pitch. But this alternative to, quote, no tax on Social Security would leave many people still paying income tax on Social Security benefits. Remember, Trump was saying no tax on Social Security. Quote, it's a far cry from making Social Security tax-free, said Tom O'Sabin, the agent and director of government relations for the National Association of Tax Professionals. In other words, more Trump bullshit. Hey, listen to me. You elect me, I'm going to end that war in Ukraine in 24 hours. All right. Hey, listen to me. I'm elected now. I'm going to end that war in Ukraine before I get into office. Hey, I'm going to put taxes on the tariffs on China. 145%. I changed my mind. I'm going to put taxes on Mexico and Canada. I changed my mind. I'm going to put 50% tariff on Europe. I changed my mind. What mind? Out of your fucking mind. More bullshit. And again, I call them out as I see it. I was really nice to Biden, wasn't I? That dead fucking bastard, warmongering son of a bitch. I call them all out. I only talk about the truth in trends. I say what's positive and what's negative. Entry-level homes are still no bargain. Yeah, no kidding. Ready? This came out from the National Realtors today. Pending home sales in the U.S. decreased 6.3% in April. It's all about mortgage rates. That's it. Way up there. As the plantation workers of Slavelandia have trouble affording everyday living. So this is serious. And again, the bigs keep getting bigger. We have a section in the Trends Journal every week. Harmony Gold will buy Mac Copper. Salesforce strikes $8 billion. Only an $8 billion deal. Yeah, you have Beauty to acquire Helly Biber Skincare. $1 billion. Again, one after another. And then, what did we say in the Trends Journal when Trump got elected? Watch for that Bitcoin bounce and those cryptos going wild. Yep. And again, we've been bullish on Bitcoin only since 2017. We called it the top, the bottom, where it's going. And then when Trump came in, we said it's a whole new game. This is an article from Financial Times. TMTG to raise $3 billion for crypto splurge as Trump flies flag for digital currency, as we said would happen. Vance's speech vows to boost crypto movement. Yep. Trump media aims for Bitcoin investors. Money talks, bullshit walks. What did they give him? Over $100 million for his campaign. Another couple of how many millions for his inauguration. You got that Witkoff, the guy over there, the Middle East envoy. His kid's involved in it. Lutnick, Witkoff, Jerkoff, Scumbag, Craphead. Their kids are involved in it. The Commerce Secretary. All right. So you know where it's going to go. Yeah. Speaking to Canada, King Charles warns of dangerous times ahead. We must be clear-eyed, Charles said. Charles, look at this guy. Clear-eyed? Look at this fucking clown with his little costume shit on the eye. Look at this. Hey, what do you got all those medals for? What do you want all the medals for? You go fight? No. If they were fucking Italian, they'd be a mafia. They're a murderous fucking crime syndicate that shitheads call the royal family. Oh, hey, what did Christ announce you as royal? You're a bunch of murderous fucking bastards by your deeds. Look at this fucking clown show. Oh, it goes back to what Plato said. If you do not take an interest in the affairs of your government, then you are doomed to live under the rules of fools. Look at that little fucking fool. The fucking British Empire that slaughtered hundreds of millions of people. Hey, but look at all the money I got. I live in a castle. Oh, don't forget, roll out the red rug every time I walk out and kiss my ring and get fucked up the ass. I mean, what fucking shit. What fucking shit. We must be clear-eyed, Charles said, sitting in an ornate chair. Yeah, on an ornate chair. Look at this fucking shit. You and I aren't allowed to sit in that. Get your ass off that. Only the king could sit on that chair. Oh, sit on the chair, excuse me. The world is more dangerous and uncertain place than at any point since the Second World War. You called it. You know it. And ramping up the Second World. Oh, they got the Carney clown up there now. Oh, before they had Trudeau. Now they got this arrogant guy. Canada will join European Union's new defense plan that aims to rapidly increase military arm productions. Isn't that nice? The move to, quote, RE, capital ARM, Europe was announced by King Charles III of the murderous fucking clan. Yep. Don't get upset, Salente. You launched Occupy Peace. You're for peace, and you don't suck up to pieces of shit. How dare you? How dare you? Yep. Yeah, this is how they're at Global News. The move to rearm Europe was announced by King Charles III as he read his speech from the throne in Parliament. The throne. He sits on a throne. I don't shit and I don't pee. I am royalty. The rearm plan announced by the EU would earmark up to equivalent to $1.2 trillion for defense. Yep. Carney's military spending will add $64 billion to the economy, and they're selling the shit that this is going to ramp up the economies. No, it doesn't. It only ramps up the military-industrial complex, and that's what Merz clown. Oh, Merz, this is the guy in the cover of this week's Trends Journal. The Chancellor, the Heil Merz of Germany, ramping up war. Yeah, he keeps saying military-industrial complex that Dwight D. Eisenhower, five-star president, supreme commander of the Allied forces, warned it's robbing the nation of the genius of the scientists, sweat of the labors, and the future of children. And they're all selling the fucking bullshit that this is going to build up the economies. No, it's not. Economies are built up when the products that are produced are bought by consumers, not when all the money goes into the pockets of the military-industrial complex. Yeah, these are some of the articles. RT, Germany threatens EU states with loss of funding. Germany would consider supporting the suspension of EU funding to Slovakia and Hungary if the countries continue to oppose the bloc's sanctions policies against Russia. Merz is shit. I was from BlackRock, Celente. Israel receives 940 arms ship. Yeah, that's from the United States. Here, Germany directly engages in war with Russia. Lavrov, this is Russian foreign minister. Germany is sliding down the same slippery slope and has threatened a couple of times just in the past century. Yep. And they're warning that they're going to go to war against Germany if this keeps escalating. Turkey and Belgium will join the drone coalition for Ukraine. This is from UNN News. The countries will join the international coalition to support Ukraine. The coalition participants have allowed like 2.75 billion euros to support Ukraine just this year. So this thing's going to keep ramping up. Russia prepared to strike Germany in response to Taurus missile attack. Senior MP. Yep. Russia threatens harsh response if Germany transfers Taurus missiles to Ukraine. Germany has agreed a new $5 billion aid package for Ukraine and joint production of long-range weapon systems during Vladimir Zelensky's visit to Berlin. And look at this visit to Berlin. Look at this fucking picture and look at the red carpet. The red carpet for the guy that plays the piano with his penis.
That's that TC.
Okay, there it is. Let's go back to that picture of them on the red carpet. Look at this shit. That's how the fools. These are the fools that people look at. All the little guys and dressed up in drag saluting behind them. Look at all the people. This Merz is taking the world, Germany, to war. Look at this for everybody to see. Yeah. Germany to lift Ukraine aid. Germany will maintain and expand its military support to Ukraine. He said. Berlin recently adopted a constitutional amendment lifting limits on how much it can borrow and spend on defense. Got it? And then Israel. They're talking about a ceasefire. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Hamas said Thursday it does not accept the outline of U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff, Jerkoff, Greenberg, Iceberg, proposed ceasefire and hostage deal. Hamas said the new proposal was more biased in favor of Israel than previous proposals, and that Witkoff accepted most of the demands presented by Ron Dermer, the Israeli guy, in a meeting with him on Tuesday. Furthermore, the new proposal, listen to this, does not provide a clear American guarantee that the temporary ceasefire will lead to a permanent one. The proposal does not specify that if negotiations extend beyond 60 days, the ceasefire will continue. So there's no ceasefire deal. They want to get the hostages back and then they escalate the war like they've done before. UNICEF, over 50,000 children killed, injured in Israelis' war, the genocide war. Yep. UN condemns Israel's aid program in Gaza. That was a whole farce brought to you by the United States and Israel. And aid, yep, it's just like we wrote in this week's Trends Journal, and we wrote about it when it happened. Remember the farce that the Biden administration, they were going to build this little pier over there to bring shipments of food into Gaza, and the pier only cost us like $500 million. It was worth nothing, and yeah, it's all bullshit. They're starving the people for over 2 months, and where's the outrage? Over 2 months of starvation, no outrage, and now the war is heating up between Israel and the Houthis. The Houthis are firing, Israel's firing back. They just bombed their airport over there in Yemen, their key airport, and bombed a couple of planes. So this is serious. Things are ramping up. They're ramping us up for war. As I say, when all else fails, they take you to war. That shithead Merz, Germany's in 2 years of recession. All right, you're borrowing $1 trillion, you're in recession. Hey, yeah, we're going to fight the war and build up the infrastructure so tanks would ride on the bridges. Yeah. You got 2 years of recession, you're borrowing $1 trillion. Yeah, we're going to war. When all else fails, they take you to war. So thanks for tuning in, and check out the interview I did yesterday with Judge Napolitano. Nobody liked that cat speaking about freedom and how we've lost it. Thanks for tuning in.